Tonight, we'll expose more hidden company documents which suggest self-dealing in Belmopan's corridors of power. Cabinet Secretary Stuart Leslie says he was a director of RSL Group. Tonight, we'll show you the truth. And 2 life sentences for the man who killed his brother and wife and then took a selfie with their bodies. Plus, police shot a man in San Pedro tonight. We'll have 2 sides of the story. And the Association of Defense Attorneys say that their members will stop accepting legal aid matters, and you'll hear why. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Monday, July 20th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7. This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
At Cellular World, we believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper-quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today. Only at Cellular World.
is introducing electronic invoicing, or e-invoicing. This means invoices, tax receipts, debit and credit notes will be issued, transmitted, and received in a structured electronic format, not a PDF and not a paper document. If you are GST registered and you invoice other businesses or government agencies, your documents will soon need to be created, sent, and verified through Vertex Belize, Belize's national digital platform for electronic invoicing. Why does this matter? Because it makes tax reporting faster and simpler. It reduces fraud and ensures every transaction is transparent and secure. The e-invoicing rollout will start with large GST-registered businesses, then smaller businesses over time. For more information, contact the Belize Tax Service at 613-2508 or email etdinfo@bts.gov.bz. Electronic invoicing, simplifying tax compliance through digital innovation.
Hello, everyone. Today we're putting Happy Bum's baby diapers to the test. Just look at the beautiful design, strong, soft, and made for your baby's comfort. Happy Bums can absorb up to 500 milliliters of moisture. Let's compare it with a leading diaper brand. We'll pour 500 milliliters of water into each diaper and see how they perform. Now it's time for the tissue test. As you can see, Happy Bum stays dry to the touch, while the leading brand leaves noticeable moisture on the tissue. Choose Happy Bum's baby diapers for reliable leak protection and all-day comfort. Look for Happy Bum's baby diapers at a store near you. Distributed by Caribbean International Brewery Company Limited.
The world is watching. The stakes are high. And with an Atlantic Bank credit card, your moments start online.
Bro, the tickets just dropped.
I have my credit card ready. So how many tickets, guys?
I'll take two.
1, 2.
I want 3.
Go further, experience more. Make your online purchases seamless, secure, and in real time.
All right, let's buy the tickets now.
What did you do, bro?
I need to enter a password.
Oh, Atlantic Bank's credit card has a 3D secure feature to protect your online shopping.
Check your email.
Some transactions require an additional layer of security. 3D Secure adds an extra verification step. An OTP is sent to ensure it is you authorizing payment.
Guys,
We got the tickets.
Your online transactions made with Atlantic Bank credit cards are fast, safe, and verified.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Rev up your engines at Puma Energy and get ready for an exciting chance to fuel, fill, and win. For every $30 purchase on fuel, a liter of lubricant, or $10 at Super 7, get a ticket to win one of 20 fuel prizes of $1,000. And here's the thrill. Fill up with premium Clean Tech Pro and double your chances of winning. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Head to Puma Energy and Super 7 today for your chance to fuel, fill, and win.
All your special moments deserve a special place. Book now and save 50% on accommodations and 20% on spa. Only at Naya Resort and Spa.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world, the Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on Earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. From rest to adventure. From nature to culture. From luxury to freedom. Every vacation imaginable, except snow. And we plan to keep it that way. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
You're up!
These charter means aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Shirley Kelso, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight.
We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm in Durkrak.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, another Minister of Government is under scrutiny, but not for any involvement with payments under the $10,000 threshold. In this case, 7 News has unearthed evidence showing that Minister of Sustainable Development with responsibility for forestry, Orlando Habet's son, received a 30-year logging license in the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve. So, is it another case of what would be called self-dealing? Well, that's when a public official uses their official position to benefit their family and private businesses. Jules Vasquez put the evidence together based on questions we asked Minister Habet 1 year ago.
This is the 30-year logging license granted to Arch Timbers in August of 2022 for the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest Reserve. A 30-year license has high commercial value, and based on reports we were getting at the time, we asked the minister if there was a related party involved.
Do any of your relatives or any related parties to you have any interest in a company named Arch Timbers, which has a license to log in the Mountain Pine Ridge?
I believe in a company, yes, as a member or a shareholder in a company.
The minister's uncertainty was puzzling because it's not just any relative or related party, it's his son, Arturo Pulido, who co-owns Arch Timbers. And Habet can't claim ignorance of this close relation because 1.5 years before that interview, he initialed the license alongside his son, AP. According to company documents leaked to 7 News, the other owner is Christopher Windsor, son of former Chief Forest Officer Marcelo Windsor. Arch Timbers was formed in February 2021, and within less than a year, with no proven track record, it had obtained a 30-year logging license. Reports we received at the time and since confirmed is that they then tried to sell the company, whose major value was the lucrative license signed by the co-owner's father, along with 2 pieces of old equipment, 1 skidder and 1 backhoe. In June, Forester Cesar Godinez told us he was a 70% owner of Arch Timbers and said that he was paying for its cutting permits. We understand that ownership stake is now a matter of legal dispute. So, was it all a scheme? Come up, get the license and sell controlling interest in the company whose major asset is that license? In July of 2025, we heard that might be the plan. So we asked Habet about that specific scenario. Again, he was clueless.
We have received multiple reports of licenses being acquired by companies and then sold for a premium to other companies. Are you aware of this practice?
No, I'm not aware. Not during our time, at least.
This makes it appear that connected to people, preferred people get licenses and then sell it for profit to other companies. Your response?
Not that I'm aware of.
And while the corporate affairs of Arch Timbers is not the minister's domain, it is his son's, who the company documents still say is a co-owner. In June of 2025, Arturo Pulido, writing on behalf of Arch Timbers, applied to the Forestry Department for an ecotourism recreational permit for Dan Shaw and Rio on pools and asked for a no objection for zipline infrastructure at Rio on pools. Acting Chief Forest Officer John Pinello responded favorably, noting technical requirements that would have to be fulfilled, but saying, quote, the Forest Department supports the idea of diversification within your concession area since it provides multiple sources of funding for your company while ensuring that the touristic value of the areas can still be enjoyed by public.
We did reach out to both company owners Polito and Windsor for comment, but up to news time, we had not received a response. Tonight, Jules also has new information about the owners of RSL Group, a company that got a supply contract to supply BDF rations, mainly seasoning. A leak of company documents shows that the cabinet secretary is the co-owner of the company, whereas last week he told us he was only a director. Here's the latest.
Cabinet Secretary Stuart Leslie told me via phone last week that he was only a director of RSL Group Limited and, quote, not an active shareholder. But that was inaccurate. Leslie is a director, a shareholder, and one of the two ultimate beneficial owners for this non-specialized wholesale trade business, which may explain its name, which carries the initials of both owners, R, presumably for Roel Cabrera, and SL for Stuart Leslie. He told us they were old family friends. The company was incorporated in late October 2025, and it submitted a tender for the supply of BDF rations in early January of 2026, 72 days after the company was registered. These are the items it ultimately supplied to the Ministry of Defense in May of 2026. It includes items from black pepper to Kraft sliced cheese to smoked paprika. Leslie told us the company imports from Chetumal. But he stressed to us more than once that he did not make a dollar from this company's business. But that was also when he told us he was a director. Now we know otherwise. Screenshots show that between May 13th and June 4th, RSL was paid $85,000 from the Ministry of Defense with another $49,000 invoice pending clearance. It raises questions because of the cabinet secretary's involvement with the company, but also because of the history. The leaked tender document we have shows that in 2023-2024, the seasoning budget for the BDF was $376,440.84, with a company named Tonesca providing the most competitive prices, but the highest dollar value contract was awarded to Kukulkan, which we now know is co-owned by former Minister Florencio Marin's secretary, Susan Daniels. So the question must now be asked, how did the politically connected RSL get included in the 2026-2027 supply contracts? Are they providing the most competitive prices, or is it a contract award based on who you know? Leslie strictly denies using his influence to get the contract, says he knew nothing about it. But again, he also told us he wasn't an owner, which we now have proof that he is.
We did reach out once again to Cabinet Secretary Leslie. He admitted that he is, in fact, a part owner. He said he accepted the partnership thinking the company wouldn't be doing much business. He repeated that he has not earned any money from the company and that he did not use his influence to secure any supply contract. Miguelito Encalada has been sentenced to 2 life terms for the 2023 murders of his wife, Desiree Elizabeth Gonzalez, and his brother, George Vincent Rochester. In a sentencing hearing in the High Court today, Justice Candice Nanton ordered that the 42-year-old Encalada must serve a minimum of 40 years before becoming eligible for parole. The sentences will run concurrently and have been backdated to April 24, 2023, the date he was remanded to the Belize Central Prison. The court arrived at a starting point of 42 years, citing the gravity of the double murder. Justice Nanton reduced the sentence by 2 years after considering several mitigating factors, including Encalada's good conduct while on remand, positive community contributions before his imprisonment, and favorable reports regarding his character and role as a father. Nevertheless, before sentencing, Encalada addressed the court offering condolences to both families while maintaining that he was innocent. He insisted he was not responsible for the shooting deaths and claimed the real perpetrator remains at large. Despite his statements, the court upheld the jury's guilty verdict and found that a life sentence with parole eligibility after 40 years was the appropriate punishment. And while Encalada will spend decades in jail, another accused wife killer, Juan Carlos Novello, will not. He was today acquitted of the murder of his common-law wife, Leslie Margarita Verde, after Justice Candice Nanton ruled that he was not guilty of the charge. Novello, who had been accused of killing Verde in November 2023 at her home in Kikaka, walked free following the brief court announcement. Justice Nanton said she will provide her full reasons for the decision in a written judgment at a later date. Outside the courtroom, Novello maintained his innocence and expressed relief following the verdict.
Mr. Novello, how does it feel?
Well, it feels good, because my heart clean because I never killed my Kamala wife.
All right.
I just want to say to the family, deep down my heart, I never do what they think I do.
All right.
So I'm happy with this verdict, and I feel good.
Verde, a mother of two, was found dead inside her home in the Bahia area of Kikaka during the early hours of November 4th, 2023. She had been beaten and strangled. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll talk to the family behind the video that went viral in Cotton Tree over the weekend and the Association of Defense Attorneys in open public conflict with the Bar Association. You'll hear why. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
When the power goes out, life is disrupted. Be prepared and keep your home powered up with a generator from Benquip. We carry brands such as Honda, Kohler, and JCB. Schedule your installation, maintenance, and assessment to keep your generator ready and waiting to protect your family and home the next time the power fails. Stay in control of your power with a generator from Benquip. Equipment, parts, service.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio. 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
Here's how to access your contribution history on the My Social Security portal. First, go to your browser and type ssbportal.org.bz. Enter your email and password, then click Log In. Once logged in, you'll see your full portal account on the screen. On the left-hand side, you'll notice a drop-down menu for added features. Click on History. Choose Contributions. Read the disclaimer, then click Continue. You'll now see a full window displaying your contribution history. In the table, each row represents a different year. For example, let's look at the year 2024. Click on the row and a detailed breakdown will appear. This breakdown includes your employer's name, your earnings for each month and week, contribution type, the amounts paid, and that's how you can explore the new contribution feature on the My Social Security portal. It's quick, easy, and keeps your Social Security information right at your fingertips. Create your account today.
Un momento, todo es perfecto. Pero la vida puede cambiar inesperadamente. Cuando ocurre lo inesperado, estar asegurado con ICB lo cambia todo. ICB está aquí para guiarte en cada paso del proceso. La vida pasa rápido. Protégete con la Insurance Corporation of Belize. Para más información, llama a 224-5328 o 224-5329 o visita icbinsurance.com.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, a family in Cottontree is calling for the police department to take accountability for what they call aggression employed when attempting to arrest Jesse Hyde over the weekend. The video went viral on Saturday, and Julissa Roberts got more from the family.
This is the video that went viral on social media over the weekend, showing a physical dispute between police and civilians in Cottontree Village. The police and a social worker were trying to detain Jessie Hyde for cyberbullying, but her mother wasn't having it. She held her ground and fiercely defended her daughter in a squalid struggle. Here's how that went. And it happened after Jesse Hyde was reportedly wanted for several cybercrimes. But the aunt whose home it happened inside and then in front of explains what transpired.
The only thing I could say when I look, I see my niece run come to my house, right? And right after that, the police they surrounded my house. Well, they asked me if the little girl was there. I told them yes, because I can't hide her and I couldn't, well, call it. So I respond back yes. My children ask if I start warrant. They tell me yes, they got one, but so far they never respond back. Nothing to us. So the man just, the one of the police officer, just walk in and she gone, because my niece run into my daughter's room, you know, and he went straight inside and I told him, yes, a little girl is here. And he took her out and then she come out and then that's where all of them surrounded the little girl. And the lady were with me there with them. I know her as a social worker. And I call the legal man and I tell them then they abuse the data.
This is the result of ongoing personal disputes, but the aunt says that nevertheless, they should not have treated her like an animal.
We tell her run because then it's really hard to say how then they drag her like an animal on the street. I think she is threatening. That is my opinion. I think she is getting too much bully and too much things she's going through to be so young. And I don't think it's fair what they are doing to her because then we all are human. We all one family. And we all have children. And I be honest, I won't want nobody to do my children that. Just like what Ima say, that she think that they are transing her data. They never should have dragged her how they drag her. They never should have treated her how they treated her.
Delisa Roberts, 7 News.
Ask police to address it today in their weekly press briefing. Has been multiple ongoing issues between Jesse Hyde and police, both in Hopkins. Police have launched criminal and internal investigations into a shooting incident involving an off-duty his personal weapon to defuse a domestic dispute. In the process, he shot a man named Maverick Fuentes. Today we spoke with the victim's common law via phone, who gave Usher's side of what had happened. ASP Stacey Smith also gave us the police side of the story.
Delia Martinez, a resident of San Pedro, claims police use excessive force against her common-law partner, Maverick Fuentes, in front of their 5-month-old child. And she says she has the video to prove it. According to Martinez, the incident began as a private argument between her and Fuentes. She states that an off-duty police officer, who happens to be their neighbor, barged into their home, adding that this was not their first run-in with him.
The same police don't shoot my dog 2 times in front of my house in 2 different occasions, in last year November and this year in February. Now yesterday, this man walking way in our house now and stand up front of my boy about a distance about 5 feet, I would say. And I the opposite side with my baby because we have a 5-month baby with we. And I'm there like 5-6 feet away from them too. And then the officer, I don't recall what he said. He must have just said he want to know what happened, I think, or something like that. But we never want where the police do it because we may have a couple confrontation. So now quickly, the police walk straight into he and stand up front of her and tell her something. And when we say, when I sit then, because the only me that the witness in here, I sit up on the bed with the baby, and he just pinned my boy down, start rumble right this one, pin her down and bring her down to the sofa.
Martinez claims that she saw a firearm in the waist of the officer and she feared that he would use it on her spouse. And as things escalated, Martinez's worst fear unfolded before her eyes.
Now when I say, we the in this we the in the bathroom, my baby that outside on the bed, they cry now because she had a nice baby get frightened. We the rumble in the bathroom with my boy. And I still try pull him off again. He still got the upper hand, like I say. He made up on top of my boy again, still the rumble in the bathroom. And I try pull off. And at the same time, I see the gun again. And I said, they pull this gun because this man I want to shoot the boy. This don't feel like this going out of hand, you know. I never touch the gun again. I just try pull the office off. I never hit and touch and knock, nothing. Just to try help my partner to pull this office off because I see the excessive strength he don't use towards him on the ground and he can't defend himself now. The quickness of I think it and I move away from the police because I let him go well. He pull a gun quick and just pop. You just hear that quick. They happen quick. I left it to God and this man still pull the gun and shoot her, knowing that my boy had one knife. There nothing we could threaten for his life. He said he had to defend himself and pull a gun. The police no time come in with a warning or they tell we that, oh, I will have to arrest you or I want to call the backup team like one bigger police. If you think, no, he gonna straight take it to for his hand and for himself and start rough out and manhandle my boy.
When we followed up with the police department today at their press briefing, ASP Smith gave us a different version of events. That the officer had been assaulted while attempting to defuse the situation, which ultimately resulted in him using his personal firearm.
What we have learned is that a police officer who had reported off duty at that time was making his way home, and upon entering his apartment building, he observed that there was an ongoing domestic disturbance. He reportedly sought to de-escalate the situation, however, that proved futile. He further reportedly called into the station requesting police intervention, but shortly after doing so, the domestic altercation became violent and he made a decision to intervene with a view of detaining the male person. The officer reportedly alleged that upon doing so, he was assaulted by the male person as well as the female, which led to him withdrawing his personal protection license and firearm, and firing a single shot which caught Mr. Fuentes to the leg. Both the police officer and Mr. Fuentes sought medical attention. A concurrent criminal and internal investigation has been commenced in this matter.
Did he call for assistance upon entering the home and attempting to defuse the situation, or did he call after he shot the individual?
I am not clear as to the sequence of events. However, the briefing, as I stated, in that order that it was given to me, he arrived home. He observed that there was a domestic disturbance. I don't believe it was inside of the home. I think it was some common area because it was an apartment building. And he called, but the mobile was not in the immediate vicinity. However, during this time, the altercation escalated to a violent nature according to him, and that is why he made the decision to intervene. As you would know, situations of a domestic nature have the propensity to escalate rather quickly, and I believe if it is that the officer acted in the manner that he said he acted, it was done with a view to preserve the life of the female who he thought was a victim at the time.
The firearm was taken into custody and an expended shell was also retrieved at the scene. Martinez claims that she did file a report, but ASP Smith says that, to her knowledge, that report has not made its way to her as yet.
I will also say that when I spoke with OC San Pedro, he stated that the female has not come in to give any report as yet. So certainly we're asking for the female to come in and give her report and put on record what she saw transpired. But what I was told by Officer Commanding San Pedro was that she was not being cooperative, neither stating anything against the police officer or against her common law husband. I stated that when he sought to intervene to prevent the ongoing violence, he was attacked by both the male and the female. That's what he's alleging, yes.
So, at what point did he feel that withdrawing a weapon and shooting the man was the best way to de-escalate the situation, given that there was also a 5-month-old child in the room?
I don't know exactly where it happened. As I said, I was told that it was in the common area. But you said it to me that he was being attacked by two persons. Everyone has the right to defend themselves. If I see someone that is armed with a firearm, it will not be a decision or a choice of mine to fight that person. But Ms. Lanza, all these matters will be fleshed out in relation to the investigation. So that is the extent to which I will comment at this time. And again, urge all persons to come forward.
And in another pressing police matter, a video that has gone viral on Facebook showing a man repeatedly striking a chained dog. It has outraged the public and led police to launch an investigation into animal cruelty. ASP Stacey Smith says they are still working to ascertain exactly where the incident occurred and who is the owner of the animal.
That video has come to the police's attention. We are in possession of it, and the commissioner has directed for the information as relates to where it occurred to be ascertained. I believe what we have received so far is that it was in Cotton Tree Village. I'm not sure if it has been confirmed, but certainly it is a matter that the department takes seriously because, there is absolutely no justification for what was seen on that video. So certainly it is being investigated, and as progress is made, that will be forwarded to the media.
What kind of charges may be brought against the perpetrator?
Cruelty to animal.
On Friday, we told you about the distribution of signed letters by Commissioner Richard Rosado informing multiple veteran assistant superintendents of police that they will not be recommended for promotion to superintendent. The letters dated July 8, 2026 congratulate officers on technically passing their interviews before the promotional board. However, they also inform other officers that they were rejected and unable to be promoted due to limited availability of vacancies. The letters explicitly warn affected veterans that these recommendations will result in their supersession, meaning junior officers will be promoted over them. The controversy, however, is that the letter also details a formal recommendation that ASP Stacey Smith be promoted to the rank of superintendent. When we asked her about this today, she explained the promotional process.
Whenever anyone reaches the rank of inspector, the process for promotion no longer entails a promotional exam, i.e. a written exam. Below that rank, you would do a written exam, and based upon completing the exam or how you perform in the exam, you would move to the interview process. And based on the performance in the interview process, as well as other factors, a decision will be made. When it comes to persons of the rank of inspector and above, the process entails an application by the interested officer to go before the promotional board. A promotional board is convened. I think it's a 5-member panel consisting of senior officers as well as representative from the security service and the ministry, where the individual officers are placed in front of this panel of 5 persons, and each of them gets an opportunity to ask that officer question relevant to the post to which they wish to occupy. After that is done, the grades are submitted to the commissioner's office, and based on that, he reviews that as well as the performance appraisal and the needs of the department in terms of the administrative needs, and a recommendation is forwarded to the Security Services Commission for the promotion of officers.
A dispute between 2 villagers in the Belize River Valley area has resulted in attempted murder of a 29-year-old man, Kenton Young. ASP Stacey Smith told us what officers observed when they responded to the scene.
Police are investigating a shooting incident that resulted in the injury of Kenton Young, a 29-year-old Belizean laborer of Bermuda Landing Village in the Belize district. The investigation commenced on Saturday, 18 July at around 10:25 p.m. when officers were alerted that there was a shooting in the vicinity of Muscle Creek Bridge within that village. Upon officers' arrival, they observed a SUV, and on board that SUV was an injured Mr. Young. Mr. Young reported that he was traveling on board his vehicle when, upon reaching that area, he was accosted by a male person on board who was driving a motorcycle, and that male person fired several shots, which resulted in the injury of Mr. Young. Mr. Young is currently listed in a critical but stable condition.
Is he known to police?
Mr. Young? Not to my knowledge, I'm not sure. I'm not aware. I'll have to make inquiries.
Any motive or suspects detained?
We have the motive is an ongoing dispute between persons between Bermuda Landing Village and Limonal Village. 2 persons were detained and another is being sought.
A war of words has erupted between the Association of Defense Attorneys and the Bar Association of Belize. It started with the Judicial and Legal Services Commission recommending former Deputy DPP Shanisa Smith, a Guyanese resident in Belize, and Peter Carter, a Trinidadian, to be appointed as High Court judges on the criminal bench. The ADA sent out a fiery release on Friday saying, quote, "What is particularly irksome is the almost arrogant behavior of ignoring and disrespecting half a dozen Belizean attorneys who applied and who possess more than adequate qualifications, experience, and practical knowledge." This time around, 2 Belizeans who applied, Trinia Young and Sharon Fraser, were not even shortlisted. In fact, Fraser said she did not receive any feedback on her application until the recommendation was made. And while the ADA says their release on Friday was leaked, they have clarified their position and their grievance in a press briefing held today. Here is what the President, Richard Dickey Bradley, explained to us.
Every time there is an appointment in the judiciary for a judge or a magistrate, lo and behold, you can guess the outcome. It is not going to be a Belizean. For those of us who are involved in this profession, that is glaring because there are way over 100 attorneys at law that you are basically saying to, well, we're still a young nation, you're saying to this young nation, not one of uno, not a single one is suitable. For some time among ourselves as lawyers, when we would say, you see the vacancy? Yes. We expect you to apply. Waste of time, pick on fire. That's the stock response to us. We are going to be humiliated and asked all kinds of things, and we will not even be considered. That is what has been happening. That is the reality. Listen, there are judges right now sitting in the court who are not even magistrates where they came from or anywhere. They were never a magistrate. Worse, they were never a judge. We don't got nobody. We could do that. So the truth of the matter is that just that bad vibes that they send out discourage a number of people, a number of persons who actually have said to us that they are prepared to make that sacrifice, close their law firm, or if they have partners, put the heavy burden on their legal partners and come and assist us on the bench. So that's the first thing. The second thing, nobody even try think that the people who apply are not up to standard. The media, so I can't use the word to describe that, but don't even make them come with a Hanasi story that there are persons in this country who have been attorneys more than a decade ago, who have given up, because that is what you do when you go and work in the public sector. You give up. the better benefits of the legal profession.
And while they know it won't completely solve the problem, the ADA is now demanding representation on the council so that at the very least they will be involved in the process. Secretary Orson Elrington explained more.
The Association of Defense Attorneys represent almost 95%. And I give 95% because, as I was saying during the break, I will say 5% maybe that I don't know, of those attorneys who sit on the criminal bench. The latest 2 appointments are for 2 judges on the criminal bench. And I want to be clear. We are not saying that the judges who have been selected are not competent. We're not saying that we have anything against our CARICOM brothers or sisters. We are not saying any of that. But what we have been saying for some years is that the Association of Defense Attorneys, who represent 95% of the people who sit on the criminal bench, and essentially our courts are set into the civil and the criminal bench, so we represent 50% of the judiciary, must have a say and must be involved in the process. So right now we are in the dark as to the rest of the public, as to who applied, what are the qualifications. We don't know. Yet we are the persons who will have interaction with these people. We have had those discussions for years now. Successive governments have agreed that it is a necessary change that the Association of Defense Attorneys has a seat on the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. We have been promised that over and over again. And oddly enough, even the executives from the Bar Association claim that they too have said that the Association of Defense Attorneys, by law, should have a seat on the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. It is our intention that if there is not a change in the composition of the Judicial and Legal Service, and if not a public, at least, commitment by the government to ensure that there are changes in the constitution of the Judicial and Legal Services Commission to include the Association of Defense Attorneys, that we will be taking legal action to enforce that constitutional right on behalf of the association and its membership.
As we mentioned, the initial leaked release from the ADA sparked tension and led the Bar Association to issue its own release. They condemned the ADA's remarks, calling it egregious and an attempt to undermine the constitutional process. The Bar also criticized the ADA for requesting the removal of the Chief Justice as the JLSC chairperson. Fraser, one of the overlooked Belizean applicants, explained that she is disappointed in the Bar Association because she believes its priority should be the local members of the judiciary.
I must say, for somebody who has been practicing for as long as I am, I was very disappointed because I would have come back to my country, made sacrifices, thinking that in fact there was an association that would fight for me and all the other attorneys in Belize. The truth of the matter is I can't go be a judge in Trinidad. I can't be a judge in Guyana. I can't be a judge in Barbados. The situation is that I decided to come home and give back to the government and people of this country. I didn't run away. I stayed and I did what I needed to have done. And here I am, and I'm sitting and I'm saying, okay, so these people who are being appointed, what do they have over somebody like myself? And the truth is, the only thing they have is that they're not Belizean. So what does that say about the release from the Bar Association? Is because they're supposed to be representing me and other attorneys. And that is not how it felt. It felt as if they were representing the status quo. If you look at the laws and you look at what it's saying the association is supposed to be doing, it makes you wonder, right? It makes me wonder, and I'm sure there are others who are wondering, what is the purpose of them belonging to an association if they're not going to fight for us?
What did you make of the Attorney General's comments that when we asked him, after we saw the document saying, yes, these are 2 judges that will be appointed, we went to him and he said the process is still ongoing?
He's right. He's right. The process is still ongoing because officially, it is not a done deal until the Governor General puts her stamp of approval. And so he's right. It's not done. But traditionally, man, come on, people. Traditionally, once that recommendation come out, it is a done deal. Because, yes, the Prime Minister has to concur. So he could probably say, well, given all that is happening, I will not concur. But people tell me, what is the likelihood of that happening?
And that's not all for the ADA. They're also demanding an increase in legal aid fees to fairly compensate the attorneys who offer their services. According to Elrington, they were promised an increase 2 years ago, but the ADA will no longer accept new legal aid matters under the current fee structure beginning August 1st. Here's what he told us today.
The Association of Defense Attorneys, again, I will be very pessimistic and say does 95% of these matters. Because again, we're talking about murder trials. All right? And I have seen where there is an issue that I must bring to the attention of the public where, again, and us doing this is not an attempt to cripple the judiciary and to cripple the access to justice for those persons who cannot afford it. But this, again, has been a commitment that the administration has made and committed that they would change it, understanding that it was costing our membership to represent people. When you're going to travel all the way to Toledo, hotel, etc., and my good brother had mentioned it's not $5, it's $2,000. $2,000. When my good brother can tell you at the private bar, you're looking at a minimum of about $15,000 if you're going at the private bar. We had come to a compromise, and they said $7,500 so that it is somewhere in the middle to cover your expenses, etc., and something for your time. All right. So our decision is that come the 1st of August, our membership will not take any more court-appointed matters. No. Some might say, well, the members of the Bar Association can go ahead and do that. But guess what happened? I have seen where persons who have never done they have not even done an indictable matter before. I'm not talking about murder, much less murder. They've never done a murder matter before. And because they're so quick to say, I completed a case, they assign it to somebody. And that poor person is put before a judge, and you know what is the conclusion of that, right? That's not proper justice. That is not proper justice whatsoever if you're going to put a practitioner who has never done a indictable matter and much less a murder matter. That is like somebody going to take surgery with a general practitioner who has never done surgery before.
So what happened to the compromise of that 7,500? Did you go back to
again, we have not.
They implemented.
They simply have not. They have not. A promise from last year that we have had meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. It was a year before, see?
There is concern tonight about the quality of water being used by prisoners at the Kobe Foundation. A September 2025 public health inspection by the Ministry of Health at the Kobe Foundation led them to conclude that the well water at the prison used for food preparation, washing, bathing and flushing waste was contaminated with fecal coliform. So have corrective measures been taken? When we spoke to the acting prison CEO today via phone, he explained that they increased water rations to meet hygiene standards.
From what I recall, in September of last year, we had gotten a notice from the Ministry of Health, and that change was immediate. because apparently there was some call-ins on skin rashes from bathing with that water. So immediately the past CEO had added additional 2 gallons of water to what inmates get so that they can bathe with potable water. Each inmate gets 5 gallons of water. With that water, they're expected that to provide for drinking, for washing, and bathing. They were already receiving rations of water. They just increased that ration to meet world standards as far as per inmate per day and water needed. Now, we do not use BWS water for flushing toilets. We use well water for that. So the potable water is just for drinking, for washing clothes, and for bathing.
Acting CEO Woods explained that their decision to revert back to BWS water was due to high levels of iron being present in their reverse osmosis system, not because it tested positive for fecal coliform.
Our sources say from 2002, you all knew the water was contaminated because of an improperly designed septic system contaminating the water. Can you speak on this?
The well water we have been using has been there as far back as I can remember. And we do test it frequently. And the problem we had with it was a heavy content of iron on it. So we weren't able to use any RO systems with it. So it's until that test came up that we found out about coliform. We did have an RO system, but what we found, the more and more we used that water, the heavier the iron content got. And we did multiple attempts to drill several wells, and we found that the iron content in the other wells were even higher.
What would you say then to the allegations that the prison was knowingly using the contaminated water because the water from BWS was so expensive? Is this true?
Definitely not. I mean, health is one of the primary things we worry about here. The kitchen that uses the BWS water not only feeds inmates, it feeds staff, it feeds board members when we have meetings here. So health is super important.
And now the prison is down to 2 water sources, with only one of them safe for usage. According to Acting CEO Woods, fixing their reverse osmosis system was no longer a feasible option for them. He explained why.
We had abandoned that RO system many years ago, several years ago, because of the same issue I told you about with the iron. The iron contact would plug the filters, and it was cost prohibitive to maintain the system with the filters it needed. So we just reverted back to BWS water.
Would you say, or would you be able to determine when did you stop using that system? You said some time ago.
At least 4 years ago.
At least 4 years ago. And then you reverted back to BWS.
Correct, but it was just not cost sustainable. It was very expensive to replace the filters so frequently because of the iron content. It's like a rust type material that plugs the filters. So it just was not sustainable.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, we'll tell you about an aspiring PUP town councillor who is in Curacao locked down tonight. You'll hear why. And we'll tell you about the 60th anniversary of the National Trade Union Congress of Belize. Plus, Jules Vasquez nominated for the Caribbean Defender of Media Freedom Award. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Belize is calling for change, and the future is in her hands. Meet our 4 incredible delegates competing for the crown of Miss Earth Belize 2026. Join us for the national pageant on August 8, 2026 at the Belize City Civic Center. Tickets, general admission $10, VIP $100, and Ultra VIP tables $1,000. Seating for 5, wine and charcuterie included.
Tickets will be available for purchase at all Pink Boutique locations, Onyx Beauty Lounge, and Medisco.
Be a part of the movement. Beauty for a cause. Miss Earth Belize 2026.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, ensuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, ensuring you from life's unexpected.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lost a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helps supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
You're up.
These charter mints aren't
We're navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shirley Kelso, and here's what's ahead for you on 7 News tonight.
We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening with your news and the bureaucrat.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your Nation Station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
If you're tired of the baking in your house with the only cook go wawa fan, and finally realize that the time to get yourself a good, durable, reliable fan, contact Myers Panel website or social media. Myers going to hook you up with one of their 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan where might could even change your life as it keep you cool in this hot Belizean weather. Yes man, because their 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan from Myers not just could blow your lip back way, they might could blow away your mind if you say blow away the toxic konomono out of your life and the bad vibes out of your house. Order your 18-inch heavy-duty tripod fan from Myers website or on their social media, and Myers going to ship out your fan anywhere countrywide ASAP. Not believe me? Visit myerselectronics.bz right now to order your fan today.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, an aspiring Curzon PUP Town Council candidate is in police lockdown after he allegedly threatened and assaulted his common-law wife following a trip to Chetumal, Mexico on Sunday night. Tommy Zatina is in custody pending investigation for threatening words and harm. Police say his 28-year-old partner, Iris Gonzalez, reported that she, Zatina, and her cousin had spent the day in Chetumal. According to Gonzalez, Zatina had been drinking throughout the day and became increasingly aggressive towards them. She told investigators that at around 9:10 p.m., while passing the Mexican immigration building, Zatina accelerated the vehicle and allegedly threatened the occupants, saying, "I will kill uno and I ain't afraid for dead." Fearing for their lives, Gonzalez said she attempted to calm him as they traveled towards the Belize border. Police say the vehicle eventually stopped in the parking lot of Princess Vegas, where the cousin exited and sought help. Iris Gonzalez alleges that while she remained inside the vehicle, Zatina told her, "The next time I will kill you," leaving her in fear for her life. Security personnel and a police officer responded to the scene, and all parties were escorted to the northern border substation as investigations continue. With a focus to encourage more young girls to pursue their studies and a career in STEM, the Ministry of Education held its first ever STEM festival in San Ignacio on Saturday, giving students a chance to showcase their innovative solutions to community challenges with the help of science, technology, engineering, and arts. Here are the highlights from the event.
When we first envisioned this program in the Ministry of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology, our ambition extended far beyond teaching coding, robotics, or artificial intelligence. We set out to create something transformational, an extracurricular program that would inspire girls to see themselves not simply as users of technology, but as innovators, creators, scientists, engineers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who will draw upon the fourth industrial revolution skills such as critical thinking, resilience, adaptability, curiosity, collaboration, and environmental stewardship to build a stronger Belize.
So today's event is really a culmination of 2 weeks of hard work for the high school. But prior to this day, which is the main event, we had a primary camp which lasted 1 week, and we had the participation of 17 different primary schools across the country. And we were working with over 300 girls from standard 4, 5, and 6. And the goal was for those girls to be exposed to all aspects of STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And the girls built robots, they did problem solving, they did prototyping, they did designing, they did critical thinking, analytical thinking. And we have a primary school showcase here at the festival, so when guests come in, they could see what the girls did in that 1 week. Following that, we had 2 weeks of high school camps where we worked with first and second form girls. And the goal was for the girls to add technology to all the different STEAM areas, so science, technology, more technology. So we had them do a game design. We had them do a windmill, a digital windmill. We had them build robots that could move and have different behaviors. The girls were allowed to have guests come into the schools, and the guests were from different sectors of society: conservation, arts, engineering. We had folks from the agriculture unit, we had folks from the TVET come in and work with the girls and talk to the girls about real-life STEAM initiatives led by women, because it's women in STEAM.
For thousands of Canadians facing the bite of another prairie winter, salvation will soon come in the form of a non-stop flight south. WestJet has announced its winter 2026 schedule, introducing a brand new weekly non-stop service connecting Winnipeg directly to Belize City starting December 14th of 2026. For the Belize Tourism Board, the announcement is a vote of confidence in the new air route connecting the chilly Canadian prairies to our tropical shores. Currently, Canadian travelers make up about 6 to 7% of all overnight visitors to Belize. Over the weekend, the NTUCB celebrated its 60th anniversary with the launch of a documentary. According to the president, Ella Waite, it wasn't easy gathering documentary materials detailing the history of the union, but in the end, they received enough assistance to produce the doc. She explained more on Saturday.
We had major difficulties. We have some documents in our office from decades ago, but they're simply letters, finance information. There's no history recorded on those documents. So we have to reach out to the different affiliates, asking them if they have pictures, footage. We reach out to media houses who are willing to assist, to help us with any footage that they would have of any activities union related. So we got some. We had some pictures in our office that we used. We had, thankfully, we have historians in Belize that assisted us as well with information. And we also had a book written a few years ago that had some information as well. So with that, we compiled everything. We got someone who was willing to produce and create the documentary for us. And we think it's a success. It allows us now to have a beginning of some place we can go to for this information. It took us 60 years to get here to document, but it's a start, and we hope that it can be continued throughout the life of the Congress. It does get you emotional because this is something for me, not just a job, it's a passion. It's something that when I got elected as president was one of my objectives, to not let this labor movement die. It's sad because when we look around, most of the persons involved in labor movement are over the age of 35. We don't have a lot of young people. Like I mentioned in the documentary, in 2025, December 2025, when we had our AGM, we ensured that we amended our constitution to have a youth arm of the NTUCB. We now have a youth director. But I know the struggle she's having to get young people involved in the movement. It's either because they don't know the history of the movement, they don't appreciate what this movement has done for them, or what it can do for them. And if this movement dies, it will be a very sad day in this country. We don't have labor unions in this country. It will be a tragic day, because then if we think things are bad in this country, then we will see what is really bad. So it does get me a bit emotional to see persons like Sister Kathleen, persons like Sister Sharon here, or our Senator, promoting the gentleman's ambassador, or Senator here. It does open my heart that we do have persons who are still willing to ensure the NTUCB succeeds.
And as a labor unionist, when asked about the changes made to the Recondev board, Waite explained that the new chair is her sister, Myrna Waite. Waite replaces Brian Mira, who had come under scrutiny, while the rest of the board remains the same. The NTUCB president explained that while her sister does support the PUP, she has no ties to the Mira family.
I will have a little bit bias on that, and I'll be very honest. The chair now is my sister. My sister, Myrna Waite. Myrna Waite. No, she's not married. Her name is Myrna Waite, daughter of Samuel Waite.
But she doesn't have any link to the Miras?
No.
Because people are claiming that.
Wow, you see, no. She is not married to anyone. Her name is Myrna Waite, daughter of Samuel Waite. And she is a retired teacher from Belmopan. Belmopan is from ever since. So, and yes, I have to say that she does campaign for the People's United Party. That's her prerogative. But yes, I think when the Prime Minister said the board, I don't know if he meant every single member of the board, because as far as I know, the board did not do anything wrong. If he wanted to remove what was seen as the issue, and the board would have been Brian Mira, then that is what he should have done only. But I think for any institution, you want continuity. So I don't think it makes sense to remove everybody from a board because you don't have any continuity. But that's my personal opinion. The question I have to be fair to answer, to say that is my sister. I'm very proud of my sister. She has been doing well as a member of the board, and now she is the chair of the board.
The media also asked Waite about the audit currently being done at the Ministry of Defense. Ministers Florencio Marin and Oscar Mira were put on a 3-month leave. But what if the audit takes longer than that? Well, Waite believes the former ministers should remain on leave.
If it extends beyond 3 months, they should keep them on leave. Yes, it has to be. They have to show to the citizens of this country that when it comes to the limited resources we have, the financial resources we have, that it's been taken seriously, how it is executed when it comes to these contracts. So for us to take them seriously, that they want to make meaningful change, they have to ensure that happens, yes. If it extends more than 3 months, they have to be out for more than 3 months. My problem would not have been if you already have a business that supplies that products before coming into government, before your relative came into government, or before you even got that contract. The thing is that it is not logical that you get a contract for products that you just open a business for when there are persons who have been in that business for many years, probably decades, that would not have had that opportunity. So it does show that something is not right, that there may be some level of, again, nepotism or fleecing money from a public person. So it is there for concern, but again, we have to look at what products were received. The entire investigation has to be given to us. Why we did not take part, or call for our members to take part in the rally that the United Democratic Party had, was one, because it's a political rally. No matter how you frame it, it's a political rally. And two, we would want to see what are the results of the investigation. NTUCB does not jump up because of emotions. We have to jump up when it comes to facts.
Channel 7's News Director Jules Vasquez has been nominated for the CMIA CBU Caribbean Defender of Media Freedom Award, a regional honor recognizing outstanding journalism and contributions to protecting press freedom across the Caribbean. Wesley Gibbons and the Media Institute of the Caribbean are also nominated for the award, which is presented by the Center for Media Integrity of the Americas and the Caribbean Broadcasting Union. The selection committee cited Vasquez's more than 3 decades of investigative journalism, highlighting his fearless reporting, commitment to holding those in power accountable, and his resilience in the face of legal challenges, political pressure, and personal attacks. The winner will be announced during the opening ceremony of the 57th Caribbean Broadcasting Union Annual General Assembly on August 18th in Georgetown, Guyana. And finally tonight, police have also made another retail-grade cocaine bust, this one in the Cayo district over the weekend. ASP Stacey Smith explained.
Police have formally arrested and charged 37-year-old Santos Ramirez of Bullet Tree Falls Village for the offense of possession of controlled drugs with intent to supply. The arresting officer reported that on 16 July 2026, he was on patrol in the Bullet Tree Falls Village when his attention was drawn to Santos, whose conduct arose that officer's suspicion. Mr. Santos was detained, and a search of his person resulted in the discovery of a bag containing suspected crack cocaine, which, when weighed, amounted to 9.2 grams.
And then in Santa Elena, another police operation led to the detention of a man for an illegal firearm and ammunition. ASP Smith told us what police found.
Police have formally arrested and charged 37-year-old Simon Bateman of Santa Elena, Tonkayo, for the offense of kept ammunition without a gun license. The arrest of Bateman follows the execution of an intelligence-led operation at the residence of Bateman on Friday, 17 July, for illegal firearm and ammunition. A search on Bateman's persons resulted in the discovery of 4 rounds of 9mm ammunition, and given that he is not the holder of a gun license, he was subsequently charged for kept ammunition without being the holder of a gun license.
And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching. With your news, I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can access a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook or YouTube pages. Have a great night. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.